Arena as the Heat get the grab a win here in Miami. And time now to take a quick look at our State Farm lineups. Someone certainly will be keeping an eye on Jason Kidd.
Well, everybody knows Kidd is one of the best passers in the history of the game, but I think one area he doesn't get enough credit for is his ability defensively. He's got enough size and strength to cover twos, and of course he's got the speed and quickness to guard ones as well.
Yeah, it's a combination of his footwork, his strength, and anticipation as well. That allows him to pile up the steals every year. And you know if he gets you out in the open, if he's running with numbers the other way more often than not, it's going to end up with him lobbing an alley-oop pass or some kind of scoring pass to a team.
For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Rockets in Houston. Trading blows in that one, they did win by 3.
And guys, when they had possession that night, it was a complete mismatch. The defense was totally outmanned the entire game.
Steve, you're exactly right on that. I mean, it looked like they were in the layup line for most of the night.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for the Heat. With the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to the Magic in Orlando. Felton with the ball, and Allen picks him up defensively. Fires the 3. Kidd, no good. And here are the Heat now, and against New York here for the second time this season.
Yeah, they really took it on the chin that last time out, and the difference was the turnover differential. When you look at the stat sheet, they were so careless with the ball, and those mistakes were just too much to overcome.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. His team ended up on the losing side of things when they first played the Knicks, but they feel as though they have some advantages on them this time around, saying, we got to see a bit of what they like to do on offense. Now that we know their tendencies, we can try and limit them getting the ball to Melo and Amari and force them to rely on others to score the ball. We'll see if it works, guys.
Thank you, Doris. What about Clark, what Steve just talked about? How was it possible for them to turn the ball over so much in that game?
Well, I mean, the defense was outstanding. Now, you got to give some credit where credit is due. But they also were a little sloppy at times with the ball.
Here's Felton following the basket by LeBron James. Anthony drives in. The feed to Bruce for Battier. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Really good work defensively. This coach has to be happy with his team.
Yeah, forcing that miss right there. Great effort.
The Knicks have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter.
Well, supreme confidence offensively for Carmelo Anthony. He's been one of the most deadly clutch shooters in the game over the last few seasons. Always ready to step up and score in pressure situations.
Gets the bucket.
His offensive game is so refined, guys. Extremely well developed in just about every aspect.
Chalmers against Felton. LeBron passes to Chalmers. Battier. Back to Chalmers. Dishes it to Bosch. Just 5 to shoot. He kicks it to Chalmers. Here's the 3. Cannot hit. Now the Knicks take it the other way.
You know, you talk about that clutch scoring ability for Carmelo Anthony. It all comes back to, I think, his size, versatility, ball handling ability, and that quick trigger release on the jump shot. It's really difficult to keep him from getting the shot he wants.
Felton against Chalmers. Kicks it out to LeBron. From outside the arc. That's good. So Chalmers with the assist. 8 points for LeBron. The Knicks have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we got underway.
I think the biggest thing with Miami is just the expectation. You know, ever since they held that press conference when LeBron said they were going to win, you know, not 5, not 6, not 7 NBA championships, they basically put a target on their backs. And now they have to live with those expectations year in and year out. It's not easy.
New York trailing. Lets it go from 11. Rebound by Mario Chalmers. Miami's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Deflected. Brewer with the steal. And oh, here we go. Felton's got it. The fast break chance. Can't get it to go.
Oh, come on. You've got to get the 2 points there.
Bosch dishes to Battier. To the middle. And Chalmers kicks to Bosch. Allen. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Chalmers. He's guarded by Chandler. Miami no good on that time either. Well, Steve, going back to the year before last, when they lost to the Mavericks in the finals, it seemed to sort of shake them out of the honeymoon period, and they took last season a bit more seriously, I think.
Yeah, there was definitely a sense of them being more on a mission last year. The focus and intensity there from the start. And with that more focused approach, they were finally able to bring that coveted trophy home to South Beach.
You know, a lot of players love playing with Felton because of the way he can throw the alley-oop. He makes it look easy, but believe me, it's not easy. Throwing a precise alley-oop is kind of an art form in this league. You got to put it right on the money and anticipate when that leaper is going to get to the spot.
Right. Art form is a good way to describe it. Felton makes it look so easy, but, you know, it really is a play that requires a very good understanding between teammates as well. And sometimes I think we just forget that communication that is so necessary. A drive by Wade from 8 feet away. He drops it in. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, 5 times already the lead has changed.
And it's Smith missing.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
And guys, you know the story. Erik Spoelstra, coach of the Heat, a guy who worked his way from the ground up with this organization. I mean, from video coordinator to advanced scout, assistant coach, then director of scouting, over 13 years. Finally becomes the head coach and has shown himself to be very much a good fit for that position.
And, you know, going back to Erik Spoelstra, what a job he's done over the last couple of years with all of that pressure after the acquisition of LeBron James. So much scrutiny and criticism, but he handled it beautifully. He got his team playing its best when they needed to be playing their best, and they were able to capture that championship a year ago. What a run.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for LeBron. Now, here is Smith. Smith missing again.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Lewis passes to Haslem. Wade kicks to Allen. Fires from deep. Smith with some nice D.
They're in attack mode early, guys, really cleaning up the glass.
Well, it's +5 in rebounding here in the first quarter. I mean, in a 4-quarter game, if that margin continues, that's +20 rebound. That would be almost assuring a win.
Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
Now, here's Lewis. Haslem, that's good. And for the Knicks, they're shooting just 35% to start the game. Baseline try. Good as the jump shot falls. 7 points for Carmelo Anthony. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Wade. Lays it in off the expert drop step.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
Anthony sets the pick for Smith. Novak. And it's off from 3-point range. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. It's all tied in Miami. And the second.
60. The new season in the NBA rolls on.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've been seeing from the Heat, guys.
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
Wayne Wade, LeBron James, the best perimeter tandem in the game. Haslem and Bosh are up front, and it's Cole in at the point. It's the group on the floor for Miami.
You know, the Knicks were able to make it back to the postseason last year, but they ran into a buzzsaw when they met Miami in the first round.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, for the Heat last season, some adjustments made offensively. Maybe most importantly, LeBron and D-Wade resolved to get inside as they cut down on their three-pointers. LeBron trimmed his three-point attempt down to about a quarter from the prior year. Chris Bosh said, them getting down into that post, being aggressive, getting to the line and drawing fouls, I thought was great for the team. LeBron James said, I'm just trying to focus on being in the paint and get to the free throw line. We have enough three-point shooters on this team. Kevin?
Well, Doris, it makes sense. They're tough to handle down. It opens up things for everyone else. Clarky talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even
allow me to
the first half.
reintroduce myself. My name is
Head-to-head, an even matchup, and both sides very competitive, on their toes tonight.
Here's Felton. 5 points in the game. Anthony, he's guarded by Haslam. Feeds it to Nova. For the three. That is good. And the Knicks lead by 2. And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Well, everybody knows about the big three in Miami with James, Bosh, and Wade. I think the question going forward with the new CBA really penalizing teams for going deep into the luxury tax, it'll be interesting to see how Miami handles that going forward, because those three guys make up the vast majority of their salary cap. So adding other players may be difficult.
Chris Bosh with the rebound. The Heat have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. James.
Knicks foul call.
And let's briefly see what's happening around the league. Damon Bruce has something for us from our studio.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Let's get you up to speed on the other games happening in the East now. A tightly contested game for the Wizards up against the Charlotte Bobcats. They're just up by a point in the second quarter. Trevor Ariza's their leading scorer. Toronto leading against the Pacers out in Indiana. That one's just in quarter number 2. That'll wrap it up for us here, at least until the spring halftime report. Kevin?
Thank you, Damon, for that report.
Yeah, some good battles happening in the Eastern Conference today. I'll bet we see a lot of interesting developments come out of these games.
The three from LeBron. Miami no good on that time either. And as it's been for Miami in the first few years, the big three here, they've had to rely on vets coming in and not making too much money. They're trying to sell them on being a champion as opposed to getting fat in the wall.
Yeah, and it'll continue to be like that, Kevin. There's just no other way it can happen because they really don't have a chance to add any additional big names because they've already got 3 of the biggest names that you can get. So it's about finding the right pieces to surround those guys and see if that's good enough to win a title.
The Heat shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for them. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team. It was a season of highs and lows for the Knicks last year, and one of their lows was how they played when they were on the road. Just not up to their standards.
And it was the play of the Knicks on the road that really, took them backwards and forced them to scramble, Clark, just to get in the playoffs. It was tough for them, Steve, but they got in, and unfortunately losing in the first round to Miami.
Yeah, but going 14 and 19 just isn't going to get it done. I think it was a good indication that the Knicks just weren't quite good enough last year. They made the playoffs, but they didn't do anything. They've got to improve their performance on the road this year and take that next step as a team.
Lets it go with the three. That one goes. Come. LeBron's now got 4 points this quarter.
Just adds to what has already been a great day for him.
Kidd gets to Smith, and a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in.
Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Well, Jason Kidd is a first-ballot Hall of Famer, undoubtedly. One of the great point guards the league has ever seen. But at 39 years of age, last season the mileage started to show. His numbers really took a dip across the board.
The Knicks have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. They get it back. Shot's good by Anthony. Anthony's got 9 points.
You know what I love about Anthony, Kevin, is his ability with the ball at his size. He's so strong, but he's quick. And he's got that agility offensively to get around you with his ball handling skills and his speed. So there's not much you can do with Carmelo, but I hope he misses an outside shot.
If you are going to foul Melo, you need to make it a hard foul. If you just play good D on him, sometimes that's not enough. This guy is a terrific scorer. It's a big part of why he's one of the league's most efficient scorers season to season, because he gets it inside and out and he makes free throws.
And for Kidd now with the championship ring, at this point he can really play for Clark the love of the game.
Well, I don't think he's played for anything other than that throughout his Hall of Fame career, Kevin. It does take some of the angst away when you desire to be a champion and you finally get there. I think Kidd has always enjoyed playing and competing at the highest level, and he won't do anything other than that as long as he's in uniform.
Haslem. Good defense by Kidd. The Knicks have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Pass to Anthony. Over Wade. It's rebounded by Bosch. She's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, Knicks coach Mike Woodson asked Amari Stoudemire to spend his summer working on developing his low post moves. Amari said, "It's actually great because I've never had a coach that asked me to work on my low post game. I've been a pick and roll player my whole career. Being able to shoot the ball from outside and also have a quick first step is an advantage for me. And now to apply some low post moves will even be that much better." Kevin, you have to love the arsenal.
Thanks, Doris.
And a smart move. I mean, if he loses some of his quickness, he can still use his strength on the low block.
Anthony against Haslem. Gets the bucket. And that's now 11 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Nice touch near the hoop.
The drive by Wade puts the lead pass in front of him. And it's Cole missing.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Kidd. Now it's a 5-point Knicks lead. Smith against Wade. Now Haslem inside. Taken away by Anthony.
Opportunity to go 2 for 1 here if they want it.
Steve, let's see if they go for it.
Boy, they were not wasting any time on that fast break.
Well, when it starts with the turnover, that's the best time to get out and run. You can beat the defense down the floor that way.
Back to LeBron. He dishes it to Wade. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. And a new group in for the Heat. Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Haslem. Battier comes in for Chris Bosh. Ray Allen is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open. Looks like they're going to hold on to the ball and go for the last shot of the quarter.
Well, clearly this is the time to do it.
And again, it's the Heat missing. And here we go with Raymond Felton. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And the first half is now in the books. It's the Knicks.
30 now, presented by Sprint.
39. With a few games, the Bobcats in a...
I got you stuck.
The second half beginning in just a moment.
Melo having a terrific game. 13 points and 2 steals as well. I think that was as productive a first half as he could have hoped for.
Yeah, he really came out looking strong right from the opening whistle. Well, if you had to guess who the highest paid player in the NBA was, you might guess Kobe Bryant, but you probably couldn't figure out who's number 2. That's Rashard Lewis. He got that big contract while putting up some big numbers in Seattle years ago. Orlando gave him that large deal, but hasn't quite been able to live up to it.
On the court for the Knicks. Up front, it's Carmelo Anthony and Tyson Chandler. Felton is out there with Jason Kidd. And it's Brewer in at the small forward position. Taken away by Kidd. And now the Knicks on the break. Straight up. Brewer, good. And the Knicks lead by 11. The Heat shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. And for Rashard Lewis making top dollar. But you know, Clark, his production has been steadily diminishing over the last 5 years.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out exactly why that is the case. He's always been a perimeter player, so you know he's not been physical. He's not really been hurt much. He did have an injury or two. Maybe confidence has eroded some. He hasn't quite been as productive as he was during his time in Seattle these last 4 or 5 years.
Well, he did a nice job of getting himself into just enough of an open area to find that spot for his shot.
It's LeBron with the drive. Bosh. Wade outside. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Battier kicks to Bosh. Chandler with the steal. And now running up the court, Kidd pushing it up. Felton. And a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in.
Something has to change, because that's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down. You know, it was another year where Miami was expected to finish atop the East, but once again, finished second to the Bulls as the 2 seed. Figured just a matter of time, though, before at some point they romped through the regular season.
And a good time here to go over our 2K leaderboard and see which point guards have had the hottest hand at the free throw line over the last 10 games. Jason Kidd is second.
And he's been a model of consistency at the free throw line. He's as dependable up there as he is on the floor at any given moment.
Steve, you take a look at him when he's up there. I mean, he's a cool customer, a real cool dude. His stroke never changes. Doesn't matter if it's the first quarter. The game is on the line in the fourth.
Back to Miami, their conference record was a phenomenon. Steve, 35-13. Even while they were dealing with injuries, they missed some games. They lost a lot of guys at various points of the season.
But they got them back when it counted, Kevin. And even though Wade was hobbled during the playoffs, he played extremely well in the finals, as did LeBron. And that's why Miami was able to get over the hump and win the championship a year ago.
Let's now catch up with what's going on around the NBA as we go to our studios. Here's Damon Bruce.
All right, Kevin, let's see what's happening around the NBA right now. For the Bobcats at Time Warner Cable Arena, they've got a tight one going against Washington. About halfway through the second in that one, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is their leading scorer. Toronto leading against the Pacers out in Indiana. About halfway through the second in that one, and that's going to do it for us in the studio. Kevin?
All right, Damon, thank you for that.
And with all the action happening in the Eastern Conference today, it should be a very revealing day. We might find out where a lot of those teams stand.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Wade kicks to Bosh. LeBron outside. Beyond the arc. Gets it to go. LeBron's now got 18 points.
Another open look, hits bottom from outside.
Yeah, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage shots.
Well, for once, he hasn't let them down. But a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Well, on paper anyway, the Knicks probably have the most intimidating front line in the NBA with Tyson Chandler, Amari Stoudemire, and Carmelo Anthony. A lot of star power there.
And they double him up with LeBron. Chalmers. The dish to Bosh. Wade outside. Lets it go from deep. And the shot is good. 15 points in the game.
Their three-point percentage is terrific here in the second half. It could be a big factor if they stay this hot.
Yeah, they're going to have a chance to get back into this game if they can continue to shoot the ball like this.
Steve, that truly you just mentioned a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, Mark, a lot of skill.
Yeah, they've got a good complement of players along that front line. I mean, Chandler is a terrific defender and locker room leader, and Amari and Melo, you've got guys that really can score the ball, and they're free to concentrate on that. So it's a definite dynamic trio. One of the best front courts in the league, I think. Well, they found the touch here in the second half from the field. And everything else we talk about, folks, rebounding, defense, all of that, this game is still about making shots. You got to put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line. And they found a way to do it here in the second half.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
To the inside. Here's Smith. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
J.R. Smith back in the league after spending most of last season in China. I mean, he's a player with so much talent, an explosive athlete, offensively gifted, deep range on his shot.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Bosch. Lewis comes in for Shane Battier. And it's Allen in for Dwayne Wade.
Hey guys, you know what? J.R. Smith is a good scorer, but there's also that but with him. He can be a bit unfocused defensively at times. He'll take questionable shots. I think it's a testament to his tremendous talent that he remains effective despite occasionally giving his coaches headaches and ulcers. But he's a tremendous talent, and I think he's actually grown quite a bit in terms of his consistency over the last couple of years.
And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
16 seconds in the shot clock.
The Heat making a switch here. Wade's checked in. There's 1:38 left to play in the third. Passes to Haslem. Kicks it to Allen. Inside. Deflects the pass. Chalmers dishes to Allen. Haslem leaps for it. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession.
Miami ball.
And look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. 3rd in steals, 4th in field goal percentage. And they were in the top 10 in team scoring as well. This is a team that prides itself on its offensive firepower. And they get it done at that end of the court.
Still, I think the key to their team was the steals that you talked about, because they were a team that put a lot of pressure on the offense. They got out and played the passing lane, tried to force turnovers, and when they did, they usually converted those into points at the other end, and that's one of the reasons they were pretty good.
Brewer passes to Chandler. And he drops it in from the low post. Chandler's got 6 points.
It's been said often that good defense leads to offense, and that's what we're seeing here with all these points off turnovers.
Yeah, because the defense doesn't have a chance to set up once they've made that turnover, so they're really taking advantage in transition.
Shane Battier is checked in for the Heat. Norris Cole comes in for Mario Chalmers. Jason Kidd is checked in for the Knicks. Deep 2 from Anthony. They get it back. Can't get it to go.